Hi, and welcome to Movie Talk, a show where we talk movies. I'm Nathan Graham.
I'm Joe Kowski.
What a summer it has been for movies. There have been a lot of blockbusters out there. We're going to just talk about a few of them and then focus on one that didn't do too well. First movie, I think that you want to talk about on our list that we have here.
Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton. I was excited for this movie the moment the first trailer came out. They had the green band and the red band did it justice because, man, what a hard R movie, but extremely worth it. You want to say anything about what you thought about Compton?
I mean...
Nothing? Well, what I think about it is it was a really great biopic. All the actors in it, including the man who played Eazy-E, which I'm forgetting his name right now, but obviously O'Shea Jackson Jr. I think it's Jason Mitchell who played Eazy-E. O'Shea Jackson Jr. played his father, Ice Cube, and at times when I was watching the movie, I could not tell if it was actually Ice Cube or if it was O'Shea Jackson Jr. because he just did a spot-on performance.
Yeah, he honestly really did.
Yeah. Another movie we got here that the same actor was in that I saw, but you didn't see, was Paul Giamatti. What a year it was for Paul Giamatti. 3 movies that came out this summer. First starting out with San Andreas, which I like to describe as The Rock versus Bigger Rocks. Just a really funny kind of disaster movie. So if you're going into it expecting, a masterpiece, you're going to be really disappointed. But I went into it knowing that it was just going to be a fun, let's destroy LA kind of movie, and I got just that, and that's all I wanted. Then he came out with Love and Mercy, which kind of went unnoticed. It was the story of Brian Wilson, the lead singer of the Beach Boys. And I gotta hand it to him for it, playing the exact same role in Love and Mercy and Compton. The producer of the music who is reaping the benefits off of the talent in both of them. He's reaping the benefits off of Brian Wilson in Love and Mercy. He's reaping the benefits off of Eazy-E, and he's just a terrible person. But he did a terrific performance. I gotta give him props for that. Great job, Paul Giamatti.
I have to agree, he did quite a stellar job in Compton, although I didn't see the other 2 that he was in.
Yeah. So another one that we both saw was Southpaw with
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal's amazing.
Fantastic.
He can go from 0 to 60, looks-wise and acting-wise. I don't know, did you see Nightcrawler?
Yeah, I did see Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler was just an incredible movie. And I've got to say that from a year ago, from being sickly-looking, kind of like Christian Bale.
In
The Machinist, yeah. He was just sickly-looking. He was a drug user. And then the next year he was in Batman Begins, completely jacked up. Same thing with Jake Gyllenhaal. He looks amazing. The story is kind of based off of Eminem. So if Eminem was a boxer, Billy Hope is
it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because Eminem comes from Detroit. He has a tough upbringing, lives in a house, rises to fame and fortune, lives in an amazing giant house, just like Billy Hope, and has problems with his daughter. I don't know exactly what's going on with Eminem right now, but I think he's still doing well.
Pretty rich.
Yeah, I'd say that. But both Jake Gyllenhaal and Forrest Whitaker, and I really enjoyed 50 Cent's role in it as well. They all gave terrific performances in Southpaw. It's definitely a good Rocky soup kind of a movie. It's got a little bit of Rocky 1, even a little bit of Rocky 4, much to some people's chagrin.
The Russian one?
Yeah, the Russian one. It's got a little bit of it.
Who plays the
Russian?
His opponent boxer.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah.
I could not tell you, but I know that he got the living daylights beat out of him. Another movie that came out right around the next movie that we're going to talk about was Trainwreck, which was a Judd Apatow movie, a comedy. He's really great at comedies. I don't know what other...
John Cena was in that, right?
John Cena was in it. He was the best part of the movie. John Cena is hilarious. He's in it for... He's not in it enough, I think. They needed more John Cena.
A lot of his dialogue, I think, was somewhat improvised.
Yeah.
Which makes it a lot...
It's amazing. He's so good. And you know what? Wrestlers, a lot of them become fairly decent actors. You got The Rock. You had Dave Bautista in Guardians of the Galaxy. Now you have John Cena.
I think it's because WWE is kind of, everyone kind of knows
all acting. Yeah.
It's all acting, and they have to improvise.
So you had Trainwreck. Then you had Inside Out, great family-friendly movie. Pixar has really not missed that many beats. They had Cars 2, but I mean, we kind of forgive him on that one.
I
Brave kind of
see.
went unnoticed.
I didn't see Cars 2 or Brave.
You don't need to see either of those. They're fine. They're not bad movies, but you know, Inside Out is something that stands out. Really great way to think about a child's psychology.
Definitely an interesting take on that subject.
Exactly.
Of just emotions.
The fifth Mission Impossible movie that came out, Rogue Nation.
Fantastic.
Tom Cruise is insane. I don't want to spoil too much about it, but if you've seen the trailer, he's on a plane, and that's not CGI. That's actually him.
He's
insane.
He did not have a harness, did he?
He had a harness. No, he had a harness. Oh my god, if he did without a harness.
Like just one harness. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was. I mean, he had a harness, and that was it.
But
he was just hanging on for dear life.
That's nuts.
Same thing that happened in the previous one, Ghost Protocol. He was outside of the Burj Khalifa, the real Burj Khalifa, 100 stories up or whatever. He's insane. The last movie we're going to talk about before the big one we're going to just discuss is AntMan, which was my most anticipated movie this summer. I don't know about you.
I thought it was okay.
He didn't like it as much as I did.
No. I mean, it was definitely a good movie. I enjoyed it, but I on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say probably about 8.
8, all right, that's good.
I mean, like, it wasn't everything I wanted to be from Marvel.
I think that closing up Phase 2, which is just, you know, that you had Ultron destroy an entire city, and then bringing it back to such a small scale, but making it feel just as big, I think that, you know, we're never going to really see the Edgar Wright movie that was in the works, and maybe that could have been amazing because he's done movies like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and he was on board. They had creative differences. He left the project, so Peyton Reed took over, and in the short amount of time that he was on it, I think that what they made is simply amazing because he was on it for such a short amount of time.
I didn't know Wright was on.
They started this like mid 2000s, around the same time the Iron Man movie came out. But they wanted to get other characters to have a foot in the door before they put Ant-Man out. And I know that, you know,
that makes sense.
in the comics he's the first Avenger, but you know, now
Ant-Man?
Captain America. Yep.
Really?
Well, because Hank Pym, he's the original
True.
oldest Marvel character we have.
Not Scott.
Yeah, no, Scott is not the first. But
what's his last name?
Lang.
Scott Lang is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he wouldn't be the first. Yeah, he's obviously.
So they put it off for a while, and also I think because of the technology wasn't good enough, but it's definitely gotten a lot better, and this movie certainly shows it. The last movie we had to tear apart, which was just, it was so painful to sit through.
There are no words to describe.
There are no words to describe Fantastic Four, Fantastic, whatever you want to call it.
I'm not calling it anything other than Fantastic. That's what they chose to put on the poster, and it looked too stupid.
It's just such a wasted opportunity. Fox has these rights, and the only reason they've made this movie is because they're not going to keep them. So they made the 2007-2009 Fantastic Four with Jessica Alba and Michael Chiklis,
which were honestly awful movies.
The fact that you can say now that those are the good Fantastic Four movies isn't good at all. What this movie was just a complete and total train wreck. From problems that happened on the set, Josh Trank, the director, sometimes showing up drunk reportedly, and the studio's cutting a lot of valuable exposition in the film. A lot of the intent may have been lost, and Josh Trank made a tweet about it after it was released, and he was saying how it was like not the movie he expected to happen. He's really disappointed in it, and now he's not directing the next Star Wars movie. So
he was scheduled to.
He had an opportunity to direct a Star Wars property, and now he's not able to do that anymore. Because of his tweet.
Oh.
Yeah, not because of the movie.
His own movie.
Not because of the movie, because that, I think you have to chalk it up to the studio taking too many liberties. Star-studded cast. Everyone in it had talent.
Miles Teller
was in Whiplash. Such a great movie.
Kate Mara.
Kate Mara's in House of Cards. Michael B. Jordan. He was in Fruitvale Station, which is the true telling of Oscar. I'm forgetting his last name, but he was in San Francisco, shot and killed by a transit authority. It's a great movie. And even oh darn, what's his name? The Thing. I'm forgetting his name right now. But he played the title role of Billy Elliot. And he was great in that, and he does some voice acting as well. He was in The Adventures of Tintin, which is a fun movie to show that Pixar doesn't have a monopoly on animated features. Jamie Bell. His name's Jamie Bell.
Even who plays Frank from not Frank.
The guy in the movie, the dad.
Yeah.
Doctor, I forget his name, but yeah, amazing
Dr.
voice.
Storm.
Dr. Storm. Whoever played him, he's been in some good stuff too. But it was just everything. The first 10 minutes of it, I enjoyed because you have this origin story.
I thoroughly enjoyed the origin story. I think they were really on the right track.
Yeah.
Until they went. Would it be
the negative zone or
negative
Planet
zone.
Zero, whatever they call it in the movie.
It's the negative zone. It should not be called Planet Zero. That sounds stupid.
Then you have things like that aren't accurate at all. When they have things like Miles Teller trying to solve an equation, and then Victor Von Doom comes over and it's just like, oh, that's not how you do it. That's how you do it. In the comics, Reed Richards is the smartest person in the world. So the fact that they have someone correct him, like, oh, you idiot, that's how you do it.
Also, technologically, the CGI was awful. It was horrendous.
When you have Michael Chiklis's rubber thing suit look better than the Muppet-lipped version they had of the Thing, it's disappointing to see. And
then there's a part where Miles Teller morphs his face, and it looks.
If you've seen the third X-Men movie when they digitally recreated Patrick Stewart, it looks like that. It's just horrifying to see. It
looks like they're stirring peach pudding.
Yeah, it's really just an awful movie, and I've sat there through the whole thing. I had an opportunity to leave at every turn, and I didn't. Knowing how
terrible it was going into it, I feel like I was able to enjoy it a lot more and laugh at just how awful it was.
But yeah, I mean, just such a wasted opportunity. I think Fox really needs to wise up and listen to the fans. No one wants a sequel because before this movie was released, they had.
I really anticipated this movie being
fantastic. Yeah, they had a sequel planned for 2019, I think. I don't think that's happening anymore. People want a Deadpool sequel, so let's hope that movie does well, so we can get a sequel for that.
I feel like this movie was just like.
It was a quick cash grab. That's all it was. It was let's get a little bit of money.
Something that would produce a sequel.
Yep.
Like that's all they were aiming to do from this movie.
Sony,
is what it seems like.
Sony wised up. They gave Spider-Man back to Marvel. Marvel cares about the characters. They want people to like feel for them. And Fox they had no heart. In the movie, Kate Mara and Jamie Bell never look at each other. And if this is supposed to be the superhero's first family, like the world's first superhero family, they're not family at all if they're not looking at each other. Because I watched it again. I don't know why I did. I watched it at home. And in the entire movie, Jamie Bell and Kate Mara never share a line of dialogue with each other. Reed Richards and Jamie Bell and Ben Grimm, they're friends. That makes sense. Even when Reed Richards marries Sue Storm, that would make sense. And then her brother, Johnny, that makes sense. But they were all so detached in individual stories, and it didn't make any sense. And I really regretted going to see this movie. So we're going to wrap things up here. Probably be back here. The next movie we're going to see is Black Mass, starring Johnny Depp.
I'm highly anticipating this movie.
It's got Joel Egerton and Benedict Cumberbatch also in it. We're really excited to see that, so that'll be sometime around September 17th. Until next time, this has been Movie Talk. I'm Nathan Graham.
Joe Kasky.
Take care.